In this episode, we end up doing a ton of research on what we need for the boat. We also get all of our bumpers and our dinghy and start to make preparations to get from Fort Lauderdale up to Riviera Beach.
Are we glad to find one of these? The first one no one's living in.
We've been pretty lucky this trip. At first we saw a manatee, then we saw a ray, then we saw some dolphins. Having the sail was like a total success because the sails out at the same time. You're going somewhere fun.
Fire burn, water waves return. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yep, that's what's going on.
Hey everyone, so today is really our first day of working on the boat. Yesterday we brought in all of our stuff, except for some stuff that we're leaving at the hotel, because we're staying in a hotel for a few weeks till we can get this somewhat livable and on the hard to clean the bottom end, get all that taken care of. So today I'm working on electrical, and it is pretty much exploration. Trying to figure out what things are obsolete. This boat was originally French and wired in 220 voltage instead of 110 or 120. So all the DC stuff, 12 volts is still fine, but I'm not going to be leaving in the 220 stuff. So some of it is just obsolete, like this is a big converter that I'm probably not going to use anything for, but a lot of what I've been working on is in here, this crazy mess. Figuring out what wires go where, what things are working, what things are not. See where the batteries used to be, right there. Deciding if I want to clean that up and put the new Tesla S batteries in there, or not. So I'm excited to get some more work done. This week is a little bit weird because Grace's sister Joy is with us. First time she's ever been to Florida. So there's a lot of just fun things that we want to do, and it's not all work. So it'll be kind of a nice slow start for working on the boat. So there's a bunch of things that we needed to get done before going. Like, we didn't have any bumpers, so we found some on Craigslist, a whole bunch of them, all for $20, which is a great deal. We also needed a dinghy. So we ended up getting a Walker Bay with a little electric trolling motor right now. We actually upgraded to an electric e-propulsion, which I really like. This model dinghy, you can actually set it up for sailing. We haven't done that yet, but something that the kids really want to do. And of course, they were also learning how to row, which Gabriel's a lot better now. But a lot of this week was spent actually at the pool at our hotel. The reason being was there was just so much that we needed to learn how to do, and that just takes a lot of research. And a lot of that research was on my phone or my laptop, and instead of doing it at the boat, I took a lot of pictures of everything at the boat, and I would do it right at the pool so that the kids could enjoy themselves while I was doing work. So you'll see here mostly the kids playing in the pool while I talk through some stuff that we needed to get done. So the list of things that we needed to get done before we could even bring our boat to get fixed was things like get our engines running. There's 2 engines, and they hadn't been run in a while. So we have 2 Volvo Penta MD 2020 19 horsepower engines, neither of which were running at the time. And this was a huge hassle. We got Volvo Penta out, and they actually ended up getting one of them running, and the other one he just didn't want to work on. For some reason, whenever I worked with different people who wanted to work on the boat, they would
assume that I knew how to do everything and just say, that's going to be a lot of work and a lot of money to work on, so you should just do it yourself. And I think they were trying to be nice, but I wanted it taken care of. So we decided that we'd probably end up going with the one motor, get there, and then figure out what's going on with the other one when we were actually out of the water. We had to make sure we had all of our safety gear, anything that was required for boating. Grace took care of that, getting our horn, our safety lights, all of that type of stuff. Of course, as you saw, we needed to get our bumpers and made sure we had enough ropes on the boat so that when we actually got to the dock, we could tie up and all of that type of stuff. We had to research our anchor, see if it was right. The anchor chain was not good, but we did have some chain attached to a spare anchor and a rope, which I decided was going to be good enough for just the trip to Riviera Beach. And also our windlass. There's 2 electric anchor windlasses on the boat, one on each hull. And because of the electric system, the way it was set up, I tried out one of them and I couldn't get it to work. And we ended up getting the other one to work, not through electric, but you can actually just use a winch and crank it, which is fine for what we were doing and actually what we've been doing since. I also had to research the steering system. In this boat, it is hydraulic. So when you turn the wheel, it turns a little pump that pushes the hydraulic fluid and sends the hydraulic pistons one direction, which turns the rudders one way or the other. Pretty simple system, and it seemed to be working fine. And then, of course, the electrical. We need the electric working for a bunch of things. Our instruments, fridge, our lights in the boat, just for actually, it was going to take a while. We wanted to make sure we had lights in the boat. All of this stuff. So I've spent a lot of this week researching on what was needed and how to set up what we did need. And then also navigation equipment. Now, what's actually needed to get not very far on a boat for navigation? The sun had killed the LCD screens on most of our sundials. You could see some on the depth meter, but that was about it. So since we could see some of the depth meter, I think that was the most important one. And we had our navionics on our phone, which once again was what we were mostly researching to get from Fort Lauderdale up to Riviera Beach. So in our next episode, we decide exactly if we can do this and get our boat, or if we end up just deciding to get towed the whole way. But it is quite a story, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that one. We've made it to Marathon, been there over a year, and loving it so far. We're going to show you our path of getting the boat fixed up, and also some of the adventures along the way as you join us on this little journey. One of the ways that we've been paying for this, and a way that we can continue this lifestyle, is through my book, Florida Keys Coloring Book. And if you want to check out more about that, there's a link below.